Right now, former Philadelphia labor leader John Dougherty has been sentenced 6 years in federal prison for bribing a city council member and stealing nearly $600,000 from the union he ran for nearly 3 decades. Jeff, it has been a long day in court.
Certainly has been. These kinds of sentencings can be like that. Listen, Sheba, on the day of the start of John Dougherty's first federal trial in 2021, he told reporters I was one of them. He had committed 0 crimes. He had done nothing wrong. Today, he told a federal judge he was, in fact, guilty. Former union boss John Dougherty embraces his supporters after learning his fate on the 5th floor of the federal courthouse in Reading. 6 years in federal prison, 3 years supervision afterwards.
Listen, I told you, he's a fair judge, okay? I'm the boss. When you're the boss, everything stops with you.
The 64-year-old ex-union boss who built Local 98 of the Electrical Workers Union into a regional construction and political powerhouse faced sentencing on federal bribery and embezzlement convictions. Federal prosecutors asked for a maximum of 14 years in prison. Dougherty afterwards spoke of his accomplishments.
We built Philadelphia, East Market Street, you name it, the Navy Yard. They all started on our watch. Judge was fair, jury was fair, nothing you can do about it. Okay?
With all that accomplishment, are you regretful of how this has ended up?
I can't fix it. You know what I'm doing? I'm going home to watch Jaws 2 with my wife.
A jury found Dougherty had bribed former city councilman Bobby Heenan with a union salary while Heenan held his council seat, and found Dougherty guilty of using union funds for pricey meals, trips, even groceries for himself, family, and friends.
Our goal was to win our cases, which we did, and hold them accountable, which we did. So we feel we accomplished our goal.
In court, Dougherty's daughters asked the judge to allow him to serve his sentence at home to care for his ailing wife. But he'll report to prison in early September. You're going to spend 6 years away from her, John.
Well, listen, we'll see.
I think John's community work, his charitable work, all came back to help him.
Now, in court today, a number of people spoke to the judge about Dougherty's community work. He is, in fact, credited with doing much to help folks who are underserved in the community. But the judge simply could not look past the 2 big federal convictions that federal prosecutors had won against John Dougherty, and he was sentenced today. In court to watch him be sentenced, State Supreme Court Judge Kevin Dougherty, his brother, who serves on the Supreme Court here in the state of Pennsylvania. It was the electrical workers, in fact, the work of John Dougherty, his political work, that helped elect his brother to the court. And today he was here to watch his brother be sentenced. At the federal court in Reading, I'm Jeff Cole, Fox 29 News. Sheba.
An interesting comment about Jaws 2 there, Jeff. Somehow a reference to the sharks out there? I don't know. Why did he say that?
Well, Dougherty is that is very much who he is. He is not someone who is shy. So, of course, you heard him there talking about his accomplishments. We rebuilt Philadelphia. That is the John Dougherty you know. And the idea about going home to watch a film, that's not unlike Dougherty at all. That's who he is. He is glib. He talks in that way. I don't think, Sheba, frankly, it was any other reference other than he will probably go home, sit with his ailing wife, and, in fact, watch a film. But on September 4th of this year, he will show up at a federal prison somewhere, or at least turn himself in and serve some 6 years, possibly, without her.
All right, Jeff Cole, thank you.